Broncos country, get ready because some news just dropped that's going to stir every one of your hearts. Linebacker Greenlaw finally stepped onto the practice field for the first time since the start of the regular season. But hold on there, Denver Broncos family, because the situation isn't quite what you're thinking. You know how it is, right? Every Friday is injury report day, and today was no different. But this Friday was special because we finally saw something we've all been waiting for weeks. Greenlaw back on the practice field. But before you start celebrating, I need to tell you something that might not please you much. Greenlaw won't be playing against the Colts on Sunday. That's right. Broncos country, our linebacker is still out for the Week 2 game. Look here, folks. Let's understand what's really happening here in Inglewood. Greenlaw was dealing with a quad injury that kept him off the field since the regular season started for real. And you know how important it is to have all the guys available, especially when we're talking about such a crucial position like linebacker. What happened on Friday was an important step, but it's still not what we all want to see. Greenlaw participated in practice in a limited capacity, which means he's still not 100%. It's like when you come back from an injury and the coach lets you do only some exercises, you know. It's progress, but it's still not full clearance. And look, Denver Broncos family, this makes me think about something. How many times have we seen players come back too early and end up getting hurt, even worse? The Broncos coaching staff is being smart here. They're prioritizing the athlete's long-term health instead of forcing a premature return. But it's not just Greenlaw who's on the inactive list for Sunday. Tight end Nate Adkins has also been ruled out for the matchup against Indianapolis. Adkins is dealing with an ankle injury and, just like Greenlaw, still hasn't been able to recover completely in time for the game. Interesting to note that Adkins was able to participate in limited practice for 2 consecutive days. On Thursday, he returned to the field for the first time. And on Friday, he maintained the same restricted participation pace. This shows he's also on the right track, but still needs more time to be totally ready for Sunday's battle. Now, Broncos country, let's talk about the good news. Because not everything is doom and gloom in this injury report. We have some guys who are showing they're ready for battle on Sunday in Indianapolis. Tight end Evan Engram is apparently overcoming that calf problem that was bothering him. He participated fully in practice and didn't receive any game status designation, which basically means he's cleared to play. And you know how important Engram can be in the Broncos' offensive scheme, especially when we need versatility in the attack. Another guy who's showing he's ready is defensive lineman John Franklin Myers. He was dealing with a knee problem, but managed to participate fully in Friday's practice. No game status designation, which means he'll be available to pressure the Colts quarterback on Sunday. And we can't forget about inside linebacker Alex Singleton, who had a little thumb issue. Singleton was also a full participant in practice and has no restrictions for Sunday's game. This is crucial, folks, because with Greenlaw out, we need all the other linebackers to be in perfect shape. Talk to me, Broncos country. Did you notice how this whole situation reflects the depth of our roster? When some guys are out, others need to step up. That's how it works in professional football. But let's be honest here. Denver Broncos family. Greenlaw's absence is a significant blow to our defense. Linebackers are fundamental pieces in the modern defensive scheme. They need to cover receivers, stop runs, make blitzes. They're true Swiss Army knives on the field. Greenlaw is known for his game-reading ability and for being a reliable tackler. When you lose a guy of that caliber, other players need to elevate their level to compensate for that absence. And that's exactly what we're going to need to see against the Colts. If you stop to think about it, Indianapolis isn't exactly a team we can underestimate. They have an offense that can create problems if our defense isn't working in perfect harmony. Without Greenlaw, we're going to need the other linebackers to make tactical adjustments and be even more tuned in to the plays. But look here, folks, we also can't panic. Football is a team sport, and it's exactly in moments like this that we see the true character of a team. Other players will have the opportunity to show their worth and prove they deserve to be on this roster. And about Nate Adkins, Denver Broncos family, let's remember That tight end is a position where we usually have options on the roster. With Evan Engram apparently recovered and ready to play, we have at least one solid option at the position. Of course, it would be better to have everyone available, but it's not a desperate situation. What impresses me about this whole report is the transparency of the Broncos organization. They're not trying to hide anything or create false expectations. Greenlaw returned to practice in a limited capacity, but he's not ready. Simple as that. This honesty is important for us fans because we get to have a realistic view of what to expect for Sunday. Now, let's talk about the timing of all this. We're only in the second week of the regular season, and we're already dealing with important injuries. This is part of football, unfortunately. The season is long, and keeping players healthy is one of the biggest challenges for any professional team. The fact that Greenlaw has returned to practice, even in a limited capacity, is a positive sign for the coming weeks. He might not be available for the Colts, but maybe he'll be ready for week 3 or 4. The important thing is that he's progressing. And you know what that means, Broncos country? It means that when he comes back completely, our defense is going to get even stronger. Imagine having all the guys healthy and available. It would be a nightmare for any opposing offense, but while that doesn't happen, let's root for the guys who will be on the field on Sunday. Alex Singleton is going to need to have a solid performance at inside linebacker. John Franklin Myers is going to need to pressure the Colts quarterback. Evan Engram is going to need to be that reliable safety valve in the offense. If you're true Broncos country, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any plays. Because every week there's news about our team, and you know I always bring the most complete analysis for our Denver Broncos family. Look, folks, one thing that catches my attention in this whole situation is how the Broncos coaching staff is managing these injuries. They're not rushing anyone. They're being cautious and strategic. This shows organizational maturity and genuine concern for the athlete's well-being. In professional football, the pressure to put players on the field is enormous. Every game matters, every victory counts. But forcing an injured player to play can result in even more serious injuries, which could sideline them for months instead of weeks. So, even though it's frustrating not to have Greenlaw available against the Colts, it's the right decision. Better to lose him for a week than for half the season, don't you think? And let's be strategic here, Denver Broncos family. The Colts are an opponent we can beat even without some of our main guys. Of course, it would be better to have everyone available, but we have enough talent on the roster to get an important victory on the road. Indianapolis isn't exactly an impenetrable fortress. They have their own weaknesses, and if our guys are focused and well-prepared, we can get out of there with 3 points on the board. What makes me optimistic is seeing that other important players are recovering well. Having Engram back is fundamental for our offensive versatility. Franklin Myers being healthy means our defensive line will be able to pressure adequately. Singleton being 100% is crucial for defensive coordination. These guys are going to need to elevate their level on Sunday. And you know how it is, Broncos country. Sometimes it's exactly these moments of adversity that reveal the true character of a team. Remember teams that lost important players during the season and still managed memorable campaigns. Football is a collective sport where the sum of the parts can be greater than the individual parts. Talk to me, Broncos country. Do you believe our team has that collective mentality? Do you think the guys who will be available on Sunday can compensate for the absences? I believe so. I believe in our coaching staff's preparation. I believe in our roster's talent, and I believe in our players' heart. Sunday will be an opportunity to show that we're more than just talented individuals. We're a real team. And look here, folks, let's take advantage to analyze the tactical side of this situation. With Greenlaw out, we'll probably see some adjustments in the defensive scheme. Maybe more use of nickel defense, maybe changes in coverage responsibilities for the other linebackers. This could even be a strategic advantage, believe it or not. The Colts prepared all week expecting to face a defensive scheme with Greenlaw on the field. Now they're going to have to deal with a slightly different configuration, which could create opportunities for our defense to surprise them. In football, adaptability is fundamental. Teams that can quickly adjust to unforeseen circumstances usually have more long-term success. Sunday will be a test of our adaptation capacity, and we can't forget that injuries are part of the game. All teams deal with this during the season. The important thing is how we react to these situations. Some teams panic when they lose important players. Others see this as an opportunity for other guys to shine. I'm sure our Denver Broncos family is in the second category. We're a team that doesn't get shaken easily, that always finds a way to compete at a high level. Do you remember how many times we've seen guys nobody expected much from make fantastic games when they got opportunities? That's exactly what could happen Sunday. Some linebacker who was waiting for his chance could have a performance that we'll all remember for a long time. That's the beauty of football Broncos country. Any Sunday can be any player's Sunday. And our roster is full of talented guys who are just waiting for the right opportunity to show their worth. So, even with Greenlaw and Adkins out, I'll be watching Sunday with positive expectation. I'll be rooting for the guys who will wear our uniform and represent Broncos country in Indianapolis. And you, Denver Broncos family, will you be watching with what kind of expectation? Will you trust our guys, or will you be worried about the absences? I choose to trust. I choose to believe we have a deep roster prepared for any challenge. I choose to believe our coaching staff knows exactly how to adjust the scheme to maximize our potential even without some important players. And about Greenlaw specifically, folks, let's maintain optimism. He returned to practice even if in a limited capacity. This means the injury is healing properly and he should be available soon. Quadriceps are large muscles important for linebackers. They need to be 100% so the player can run, change direction, jump, tackle. You can't risk a setback due to recklessness. So, patience. Broncos country. Let's support the organization's decision and hope that Greenlaw comes back stronger than ever in the coming weeks. Meanwhile, let's focus on what we have available for Sunday. And we have a lot of good stuff available, you can be sure of that. Lucas Oil Stadium will be loud, but our Denver Broncos family has already proven it knows how to play on the road, has already proven it can overcome adversity, has already proven it has heart and determination. Sunday will be another test of our resilience, another opportunity to show we're a real team, not just a group of individual players. So, what about it? Denver Broncos family, what would you do if you were the coaching staff? Would you keep Greenlaw out another week as a precaution, or would you try to put him on the field even with limitations? Comment below what you think. Hit the like if you also believe our team will overcome these absences and achieve an important victory in Indianapolis. Share with your Broncos country friends, and until the next video, where I'll bring all the news about our beloved team. Go Broncos!